respected civil rights activist. He put what happened in New Orleans 2005 into historical context and a social perspective.
And we refuse to sit idly by and allow oppression, exploitation, and racism to be the deciding factors on whether people can come back. We're going to make sure that the New Orleans will not be one that only serves the privileged few.
With all that we had seen in the past few days, we couldn't help but ask the ultimate question. Is it really worth rebuilding?
A vision for a forgotten city. I don't know. I really don't. I don't know whether we're gonna make it or not. I'll try each day to do what I can to make sure that we do, but people's self-esteem is down, their jobs have been taken, their homes are gone. That's something that is very discouraging to wake up to every morning.
Okay, so this morning we got up at normal time. I was a little tired, wasn't really feeling very good. Got some breakfast, so then we found our Buffalo friends who had told us that while most of the other Common Ground kids were going to do cleanup at the lower ninth ward, we had gotten a house, so it was going to be us and one other team from Buffalo. There's 25 of us, and we went and we worked really hard in the beginning. And it was nice, it was a big space, lots of windows, so it was light in there, and everyone just kind of found their own space and just worked really diligently.
9:20. We've only been here for like an hour. But, I don't know, good progress.
Pretty much did everything, ripped out carpets and took out, this woman had so many mirrors in our house, it was crazy, so we kind of had to shatter all those because they didn't really come off the walls. So.
Lots of bad luck.
You know, taking all the drywall out, window frames, door frames, sink, the kitchen cabinets, like everything out.
There's houses that are haven't been occupied for a year and a half, and they're extremely moldy, and they have mildew in them, and old furniture and clothing that is, deteriorating and decomposing. And these people go in, they leave their nice clean dorms and college classes, and come down here and go in those buildings like that and clean them out and do a very good job. And they save the homeowners thousands and thousands of dollars.
There are so many layers to a house.
Yeah.
It's insane. Just one after the other, just keep uncovering things. And I don't know, you don't realize it when you're like in one that's intact.
Just a prayer.
There's a lot of stuff. I didn't see that. I worked on the shed. And the shed was packed. It looked like my shed. Like, it was just full of stuff. No one had touched it. Like, there was boxes of magazines. I found the guy's ties, a whole bunch of neckties. There was just like boxes of stuff. I actually found these pictures. It's hard to think that you're actually making a difference in like the huge scheme of things, but when it's not the huge scheme of things and it's actually like an individual one-on-one kind of thing, that it makes it more important.
What makes the organization successful actually is the volunteer effort, the people that come to Common Ground from all over the United States and give their time and energy to helping those victims of the Katrina hurricane. And they do all kind of really, very strenuous, dirty, hard work that, you really have to be dedicated just to get it that dirty.
We got up, we were gonna go gardening with Rick, and we were really into it, but there were too many kids. I guess gardening's now the cool thing to do, even though we totally started that fad. So we ended up going down to the lower 9th Ward, which I had really been wanting to do. And we went down to the Blue House, which is Common Ground headquarters, where we got tools.
We are here today to do lower 9th cleanup. We've been doing it for the last 3 days. And basically, we're pulling up excess grass and weeds that have grown, basically like swamp weeds that have grown since the storm. No one has really manicured the land, and the city is threatening to take land from owners that are out of town and can't be here to manicure their land or come back. So we are taking upon ourselves to mow lawns and keep the land maintained so that people can come back to their homes without, finding out that their homes are no longer theirs for being unkept. So yeah, we're just trying to stop land grabs. That's the bigger picture.
There was a lot of people out there kind of working together to get these lots cleared, which felt really good. A bunch of locals drove by and kept commenting on how great the lots looked, how much work we were doing, how much they appreciated it.
Like when I walk down into the lower 9th Ward, and in some of the lots that are now, like the houses are gone, there's wetlands plants that are starting to grow back there, and there's egrets that you'll see flying down there.
So then we spent some time and we walked around the lower 9th Ward, just a couple of blocks, and that was just intense. It's just a ghost town now. Nobody lives there, and the houses are just decimated.
People had written on the walls, like the numbers of the houses and like information about the houses, in order to, lay claim to them in hopes for the future. And it just seemed like there wasn't a future, and that the writings on the walls weren't really didn't really matter. Versus contractors and businesses that have so much money, like you'd lose.
Again, we talk about historical frameworks and perspectives. Once again, the U.S. government, different governmental agencies are helping people with money, to take land and property and communities away from people of color for profit, and for their own motives. That's what's going on here. And what else is going on here is that thousands of U.S. citizens are standing up from around the country and from here and trying everything they can to stop it. That's what's going on here.
There's a definite feeling in this city that isn't like anywhere else. That everyone is so friendly. We were talking about this before, and even the smallest thing, walking down the street and having people say good morning, hello, how are you? A 9-year-old girl came up to us last night. What's your name? What are your names? What are you doing here? Are you guys volunteers? Are you with Common Ground? Thank you for coming down here. People don't say that stuff in New York. And I don't know why not. But by far, out of anywhere I've been, this is the city worth saving.
People all over the country, all over the world, we live in areas of disaster, You're either living in tornado areas or flooding, areas that flood, or you're living in areas that have earthquakes, And everyone always rebuilds. That's what you do. I mean, nothing that we have here is natural. And we're gonna nature's gonna destroy it, and we're gonna rebuild it. And that's kind of human nature in a lot of ways.
For me, a viable result, a concrete result, being able to see a change for the better. That's why I'm here. I want to see a change for the better. I want to contribute. And I feel that I can add a little. Not that I can do so much myself, but I feel that if all of us get in and do everything that we can, that we rub off on one another, and the good things, and we all gain. We all get better. We're all better people for it.
On one of the houses, somebody had inscribed, "God is just testing us, have faith." When you live a lifestyle in extreme poverty, you almost have to have faith that, some good will happen. But it's hard to keep faith, and it's hard to keep positive. But when you can do that, and when, your neighbors and your peers are all kind of going through this together, all keeping this faith together, it really helps you get through it. And I think that, and whether it is a religious faith, I don't think that matters. I don't think it has to be a faith in a God, it just has to kind of be a faith in something that'll get you through it, whether it's God or people or friends, family, the government.
What's happening in our world is not right. And we really need to do something about it. We need to do something that doesn't create more things that are not right. But we need to do something loving, and we need to do something about it. And it's not going to happen with the people the numbers we currently have doing it. It's not. I'm just being honest with you. With the numbers we've had, we're in an area with roughly 22,000 homes that we focused on, and all of us from across the country haven't been able to solve a lot of what's going wrong. There's not enough of us. Need more people. Need more human beings to insert their creativity and their ideas and their experience into movements for social, economic, and environmental justice. It's very important.
Maybe I'm not too proud to be a United States citizen anymore, because when the military come in and took us away and gave our jobs to people from Halliburton, it feels like I'm in a third world country, and that there's no hope as far as what people can do. What if it happened to your city? What if it happened to your mama, or your sister, or your brother, or your dog, or your cat? You wouldn't forget so quickly.
And that we all have an obligation to make sure that justice prevails in this city. because injustice is a cancer also. And it will eat up this nation.
We came out of this experience with love and a prayer for New Orleans. At the end, we had new expectations for ourselves, new perceptions of human rights, and, most importantly, we came out asking, what can we do to change the future?